Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, hi, hello and welcome. My name is Kate and I'm just a hopeless romantic that loves to read. Today's video is going to be a bit different. So I have 4 books here that I went into thinking that I would absolutely love and enjoy, but I was sorely disappointed. And then I also have 4 books that I didn't have the highest expectations going in. I thought they were going to be pretty mediocre, but then I ended up loving them. So we have a bit of a positive negative cancellation here, which is fine because reading is subjective. So if you loved these books that I just didn't enjoy, they didn't hit the mark for me, I'd love that for you, because I genuinely went in there wanting to love these books so much, and I tried. Like, I finished them. These are not DNFs, okay? But then also, if you didn't like the books that I actually fell in love with, then that's so fine too. You are so entitled to feel the way that you feel about your books, just like I am. So yeah, there is going to be spoilers, I think, in most of these that I'm going to talk about, because a lot of the issues that I had with the books I didn't like are part of the spoilers, but then some of the things that I did love about these books will involve spoilers. So pre-warning, I'm going to try not to spoil it too much, because I do want you to watch the video. I mean, these are fun videos to watch, so they're not going to be like grand spoilers. Actually, I've just made that decision. I'm going to try and keep it as low-key as possible, but still give you enough reason as to why I was disappointed and it fell flat, or I really loved it when I thought I didn't, or I wasn't going to. So yeah, that's the video for today. So grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get on into it. So first up, I'm going to start off with a book that I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much as I did going into it. I freaking loved this book by the end of it, okay? I went into it because I didn't know too much about the preface, but this author is well known for her whimsical style of writing. So I kind of knew there was going to be like an element of that in there. However, it was so hyped, so hyped on TikTok and Instagram that I was like, do I want to do that? Do I really need that? Like, do I need it to be hyped up and be disappointed? I feel like that's going to be a lot of these ones. But I freaking loved it, okay? And that is The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I love this book, okay? So essentially we have Clementine. She is an overworked publicist, okay? Her aunt just recently passed away, so she's dealing with the guilt and letting go of that, okay? She, however, inherits her aunt's apartment, right? So she moves in, carrying out every day. One day, though, she wakes up and the whole apartment has changed, and there's a strange man in her kitchen. However, he is 7 years in the past. Okay, so there's this pinch in time, which is so whimsical, magical. Honestly, it took me a bit to try and wrap my head around it, because as soon as that kind of became the forefront of the plot, I instantly went into like my romantasy setting, like trying to figure out the system. So I was overthinking it, I was overanalyzing it, and I wasn't enjoying the plot and story. So I realized that I needed just to let that go. So that would be my best advice. Enjoy the story, read the plot, and let it go. This is not a romantasy, okay? This is not a fantasy romantasy. You don't need to think about the magic system, just that it is a pinch in time. That's basically all you need to know, all right? So Ewan, he's in the kitchen. He's just moved to New York. He's staying there at the aunt's apartment because every summer Clementine and her aunt would go away. So she would sublet the apartment to like people just visiting for the summer, whatever. He's an aspiring chef. He makes the best lemon pies. They really do have this slow burn connection, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I loved the fact that she fell first, because I think we read a lot of books where he falls first, but in reality, I feel like the woman always falls first over the men. So yeah, it's like a rare case, I mean, in reality. So it was very realistic in that sense, but also to the awe I had for Ewan and the patience that he had for Clementine, and going through everything solely through her eyes, and watching Ewan fall in love with her through her eyes made me fall in love with him even more, if that makes sense. Like, it was so beautifully written in her POV that you could see everything as if it was his POV. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but read it and you might understand what I'm trying to say. Or if you have read it, do you understand what I'm saying? She continues on with her life. He pops up every now and then. They keep creating the connection. And then it gets to a point where they've caught up with each other. And he's like a renowned chef. Their paths cross. And guys, he's been waiting 7 years for her. Like, the yearning. I fell so hard when I finished this book, because like this was such a short book. It was 328 pages, right? I still wanted 100 or 200 pages more. I wanted their story to continue. I wanted to see what happened between them. Like, I just wanted more. I was so invested in this. But yeah, like I said, I went into this not expecting too much, not expecting really to enjoy it. And I didn't for like the first few chapters until I let go. So that's my advice. Let go and you are going to love this just as much as I loved it. Now for a book that I thought I was going to enjoy so much with the preface that I heard, but I didn't. This story is a popular one, all right? And people either love it or hate it. I didn't hate it. I loved the story, loved the preface. It fell flat for me with the characters. I think that's what it really came down to. And yeah, it's sad because this is book one in the series, but it is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I loved the fact that we have a circus that goes around different cities. You get tickets and you go play the game. And it's like a magical kind of circus. It's called Caraval. And you never know what's real and what's not. Right. And there's all of these rules, you go out and you do these mystery hunts at night. There's a lot of riddles. It's really fun. And then you have your game master legend. No one knows who he is, what he looks like. But if you win the games, you get a wish from him. And I found all of that fantastic. But who's their characters? There's the two sisters in this. And I just could not relate to them. I think this one's Donatella. I think this is Tella's story. I just couldn't relate to her. I couldn't grasp her. Even the side characters, like the guy that was helping her sister, like some of the scenes, I was like, what am I reading? Like, I was skimming through some of these scenes because I was like, I'm invested in the game, but I'm not invested in these characters. And that's where it fell flat for me, truly. And I think because this fell flat, when I went into Legendary, the second book, it fell even more flat, because I knew I had to read this to meet Jax so I could read Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I still haven't done. I think that this set it up poorly for the second one, because the second one was slightly better, but I think because this one just set up the flatness with the characters, I wasn't really invested in the second one, apart from Jax. Please don't hate me if you loved this. I am so happy for you. I really actually am contemplating giving this another go and trying again when I am in a fantasy mood or needing that YA read, because this is YA as well, which is fine. I don't need spice. But yeah, like the romance in it, characters, it just didn't hit. All right. And that's all I'm going to say. It just did not hit for me. Now, my next one is from an author. Okay. And she writes for everyone. Do I love her entire catalogue? Majority, yes. I've read majority of her catalogue and I like majority of them. I think there's only 2 books that I do not like, and we will see one of them later. But this book, I didn't expect that I would enjoy as much because it was labelled as like an erotica book, and I've never read anything like that before. But it was a STEM book as it was like advertised to me. However, it's pleasantly surprised me with how much I enjoyed it. And that's Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. So I love Ali Hazelwood. She has a book for everyone and she writes for everyone, and I love and adore that about her. Now, back to the book. Not in Love. This was, I think, advertised as a STEM book, which is granted, there are STEM elements, but that's not the preface, okay? So we have we have Rue and Eli. Sorry, Raven's in the other book. So Rue is working, I don't even know where she's working at. She works at this research place, and then Eli and his like crew are coming in to like kind of take over ownership of it, like a business deal, merger. I think that's what the term is, merger. Okay, so that happens. So then he becomes her like colleague boss situation. Yeah, look. Rue and Eli, the fact that this wasn't a STEM focused book, you could really focus on their relationship. And Rue she dealt with her issues like an adult in this, and I loved and appreciated that about her. Her self-talk as well, phenomenal. Loved it, because I feel like that's how I used to work through my problems back in the day when I was starting my self-help development journey. Yeah, she is also a tall girl representation, which I thoroughly enjoyed, because not a whole lot of books these days are anyone higher than what, 5'9". 5'9's pushing it. Everyone's like 5'1", 5'2", which is fine because I'm 5'1", so it's more relatable. But I like reading about other, people like tall girls. So she's a tall girl rep. And then Eli, he's a man of my own heart, and I fell in love with him real quick, real hard. Okay. He is just, he's the man. Okay. He is the man. And in this, you can just tell the things that he says, does, the patience he has, it's phenomenal. Beautiful. Now, this story is meant to be erotic. Okay. So I didn't think I was going to like it too much. However, it just builds up to mild erotica. So this is a spicy book. I did find myself skipping scenes because there was a lot going on with the spice, but also there was a lot going on with the plot that I wanted to know. So it was well balanced. I will give it that. But I just wanted the plot by the end of it. But yeah, it's not full erotica. It's just building up to erotica, which was fine. So I pleasantly enjoyed, loved, and devoured this. That's all I'm going to say. Now, staying on top with Ali Hazelwood. So, like I said, there was only 2 books that I really didn't hit for me, didn't land, okay? And that's fine, because she writes for everyone. Now, if you liked this book, I love that for you, because I really wanted to. But I think my own morals and values really set the tone for why it didn't hit for me and land for me. And that is A Problematic Summer by Ali Hazelwood. So this is a sequel to Not in Love, which I was really excited about, because this is Eli's sister and then Eli's business partner. So there is a significant age gap within the two, because I think she's like 23 and he's 34 or something like that. Yes, she's 23, he's 38. So Maya is 23 and Connor is 38. So there is a significant age gap, which I don't mind. I don't care. Age is just a number at the end of the day. My issue was when she was studying abroad and he came over and met her abroad because she was sad, so he flew over there. So he already had an interest in her way back when. So we got those flashbacks, all right? But then the main plot in this is going to Italy for Rue and Eli's wedding. So they're all in the villa for a week in Italy, and we get the flashbacks for 2 years later when she was studying abroad and how their relationship started. So by 70% of this, I was like, he has been breadcrumbing her, leading her on for 2 years. But also she has been waiting 2 years for a man to love her. See how the morals and values? No man should be breadcrumbing you. They either love you or you don't, are interested in you or you not, want to pursue you or not. Like, end of story. So for her to also be begging him to love her for 2 years, I was just like, girl, this is pathetic. That was my issue with this, okay? My morals, my values, that's it. I did enjoy the destination wedding, the chaos that went with everyone under one roof. Loved it. It was so funny. Little adventures that they did, the side characters that came into this, putting together all the pieces, because there's 4 of them. Eli, Connor, and then there's like, I think 2 or 3 other that are part of that corp that took over Ruse in the first books. So they're a big company. They all know each other. They knew each other from MIT back in the day. So a little bit incestual at the beginning once you're piecing it all together of who's been with who and what's happening now. But other than that, this was a good time. But yeah, I think my morals and values really, it didn't align with this book, which is fine. This was very, very messy. So if you enjoy a messy book, go for it. This is calling your name. Now, a book that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did, okay, this was a book club pick. Now, this is why I love book clubs, particularly mine, because it's really throwing me out of my normal genres and normal book tastes and giving me more Aussie authors as well and debut novels that we're all excited for. So this one, I didn't know if I was going to enjoy because I don't really gravitate towards this genre very often. So it is To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. So I believe this is book 1 in a series that she has. This is a dystopian romance, okay? I don't read dystopians, period. It's not something that I reach for. I've enjoyed particularly in the past, unless it's done really well, like The Hunger Games or The Divergent, like those sorts of classic. Like, I have no interest in reading the Shatter Me series, okay? We'll put it at that. So I picked this up, not expecting great things. I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be a 3 stars. Let's go. It is like a chunky book. However, it is action-packed from beginning to end. This thing had me in a chokehold. I enjoyed this so much. So essentially, there is a prison in the city. It's called Enlocked, and it's where the wealthy get to hunt the inmates. All right. It's like this little game that they have. I think they do like 3 hunting sessions a day. The wealthy come in and get to pick the inmates that they want to hunt. So it's very full on. So now we have Raven. She is a notorious bounty hunter. So she's put a lot of those people in the prison. Now, her brother gets caught by authorities and gets sent to Enlock because he's been conspiring with the rebels. So Raven's like, oh shit, I gotta go save my brother. So she gets herself caught, makes a deal with someone else to go in, get her brother, and escape. So, great plan. And then we have Vale. He is a guard within the prison. Sorry. He's a guard within the prison, and he just doesn't agree with the system. He doesn't agree with the ethics of it or anything, okay? He is a character that once I thought I figured out who he was, what his objectives were, something else would be thrown in, and then I would be back at square one trying to figure him out. So I was constantly on my toes, whether we trust this man, whether I know this man, whether I know his backstory, what his intentions are, you know what I mean? So it was really gripping in that perspective, and he pretty much sacrificed himself. He put himself on the line for her in so many instances. And yeah, I loved and adored this so much. When it ended, I instantly Googled when she was going to release book 2. And I think we only got an announcement like this week. So I need her to hurry up and give me these books so I can finish this series, because this is phenomenal. Loved it. Now let's go to a book club read that I didn't enjoy. Okay, it fell very flat for me. Now, this is a first read from this author. She has a whole cowboy series that I really want to read, and I will read on my Kindle 100%. However, this is book 1 in kind of her paranormal romance, and I thought I was going to enjoy it a lot more, but yeah, there was a lot of issues with it. So it's Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is book 1 in the Sweetwater Peak series. Okay, book 2 is actually coming out soonish. She's released that as well. Now, this follows Collins. Her and her sister, they can actually communicate with ghosts. So they see them and they can talk to them. All right, she's kind of lost her way a bit, so she's gone back to her hometown, Sweetwater Peak. She does photography. And yeah, so she lives with Brady, who owns the hardware store. They live above it. He's got a spare room. They're roomies. Goes from there. Brady, very grumpy, very broody. All right, so this has had the potential to be everything that I wanted and more. All right, we have paranormal romance, broody, grumpy MMC, and an FMC who's trying to find herself. Now, I was rooting for Collins the entire time. I wanted nothing but the best for her. I wanted so much from her, and I got sweet F all by the end of it. Brady, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Yeah, Brady Cooper. He was so whiny so many times throughout this, and it was frustrating in the particular scenes. Like, I love me a whiny man, okay? Like, play along, Isaiah Rhodes. Love it when they whimper. But when they're whining, nah, man up. I want a man. If I'm reading about a man, I want a man, you know? So, yeah. And then the paranormal element with the ghosts, like, they were cute. They were cute, like little side characters, basically. I was expecting like a bit more of a mystery involving them and it being very plot heavy with the paranormal, with the romance on the side, but the romance wasn't even on the side. The plot wasn't even there. That's my opinion, okay? That's how it felt when I read this. And yeah, I really am devastated that I didn't like this and that I'm so harsh and brutal on it. but it is what it is. And I'm sorry if you enjoyed it. I'm so happy for you. Will I pick up the second book? I might see what the general consensus is before I do. Now, I want to finish on a high. So we're going to do another book that I went in expecting to love and didn't enjoy whatsoever. And I actually hated this book. I really did. And it's fitting with the title. It is Twisted Hate by Hannah Huang. Okay. I love the Twisted series. The other 3 books, phenomenal, top tier. Twisted Games, the second book, my favorite book of all time, pretty much. Like, it's one of the top 5. Okay. Love Twisted Lies after this. So this Twisted Hate, I hated it. Okay. Now, I don't read too much into prefaces when I go into these books. So I knew that there were darker themes within this series and I was enjoying it. Okay. Got to this book. So we've gone from a billionaire's groveling romance in Twisted Love. We went from a princess ex-bodyguard in Twisted Games to best friend's brother. Bit of a downgrade. Jules, she has been throughout the first 2 books because essentially the whole 4 books follow 4 girls from college all the way up to when they're nearly 30. All right. So we cover a lot of years, particularly in Twisted Games. We cover like 4 years. Okay. So by the time we get to Twisted Hate, they're in their mid-20s. Okay. They're maturing. And then we have Josh, which is Ava's from the first book's brother. Okay. And then Jules is obviously the friend. Josh is pretty meh. He's pretty meh. I don't want to jump on the hate train for him, but I feel like the more I let this sit on my shelf to look at me, I hate him even more for the scenes and acts that happen within this. Now, Jules, she was so promising. She is the badass, no filter, all out friend. I was expecting so much more fight from her and backbone, and she just kind of like was a doormat. And I was like, oh, disappointed. Yeah. There is scenes in here that I don't agree with. Like revenge sex, hate sex, whatever. Not my thing. I'm hopeless romantic. So I was like, no, it wasn't for me. Like, I'm not a dark romance girly. I understand these have dark themes in it. However, no. There's things that I will condone and what I won't condone, and things that I will read and what I won't read. I'm very intentional with what I pick up now, especially after noticing how I felt after reading this. And I mean, nearly 500 pages. Did we need that for mediocre characters? No, right? I wanted more in Twisted Games. Give me more pages there. Make that one a 600-page book and I will devour it. This book did not deserve to be this long. And I know that this is so many people's favorite book, but it just wasn't for me. No, 2 stars. I didn't like it. Genuinely didn't like it. Now, to end on a positive note, we have a book in a very popular series. It is actually my god tier series for sports romance, and you could probably guess just by me saying that what series it is, because I will not shut up about the characters in this series. Now, going into this book, I wasn't particularly a fan of the trope because I was kind of new-ish to the trope and I hadn't really picked up a whole lot, but since then, huge fan. Caught up, Liz Tom 40, single dad ex-nanny. Wasn't a fan at the beginning. Read this, switched it. I've done a 180. I love me a single dad. And if there's a nanny involved, it needs to be done a particular way with no baby mama involved. This solidified that for me. So we have Kai. He is a professional baseball player. He has a son and he needs a nanny, right? Then we have Miller, who is a renowned pastry chef, but she's also Monty's daughter. Monty is the coach. So he was like, you know what? You need to clear your mind for the summer. Get recreative. So come and babysit, be the nanny for one of my players' sons. Come on journey with us. What is it? Road trips with us to all the games. You'll be around. We can spend time together. Yada, yada, yada. Monty, by the way, best side character. His spin-off story, phenomenal. I just had to throw that in there. But yeah, so Kai and Miller, they meet in an elevator. She's double fisting Coronas. That's her. She is so unapologetic, and I love that about her. Kai, so broody, trusts no one with his son. It took him a while just to let go, but the preface of this book also is what really got me, and it was like, you're not going to have a good day every day, and if you have a good support system around you and people that love you and support you, you can pretty much survive anything, and I loved that. This was a very emotional book too, to the point of Kai's favorite, like, famous line, you know, if you ever want to settle down, slow down, and build a home, build it with me. Like, sobbing. The man, oh, plus he has glasses, even better. So yeah, this one I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did, but this is phenomenal. Even though it's not as highly ranked as my other ones, I am currently doing a reread of this whole series, so I feel like they're going to be re-ranked because I am slightly obsessed now with the single dad trope, with a lot of the books that I've been reading in my small town romances. So we will see. So there we have it, guys. Those are 4 books that I thought I would enjoy, but it just fell flat and I was disappointed. And then we have 4 books that I didn't think I was going to enjoy, but I absolutely loved. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a different video for me. I might do a part 2 maybe if I find other books, but like, there's not a lot of books that I don't like, and there's not a lot of books that like I DNF too, because I'm very, very intentional with the books I pick up, the books that I read, and what's recommended to me, and the people that I listen to with the recommendations. So I'm very intentional. So that's why I think like I always have a good reading month, and I'm always reading books, you know, 3.5 to 5 stars, because I'm so intentional, and I'm still quite new in the reading space. Like, this is my 3rd year of reading, so there is a lot of like OGs that I still need to get through, like the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, and then like I've got The Crowns of Nyaxia by Carissa Broadbent, and her Daughter of No Worlds trilogy. Like, there's a lot of staple ones that I still am trying to get through as well. So I know I have a lot of great reads upon me. So if I do come up with other books that I didn't thoroughly enjoy that I thought I would, I will bring them up and I'll do another video. But other than that, I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. I'll try. We'll see how well this video goes, I guess. So if you enjoyed it and made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you want more content. If you want to follow me on my other bookish platforms, leave the handle on the screen. Come join the chaos over there because it's so much fun. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.